Hey, Dan Passarelli here. You ever see the movie Wall Street? Like the original one, the good one, where the thing was like they would give inside stock information by saying Blue Horseshoe loves, and then they'd say the stock symbol. Well, to me, the market kind of feels like that these days. It's just kind of weird. But Blue Horseshoe is like the administration or just the news on or about the administration. At like 4 o'clock in the morning, there was a news report that the U.S. and China were going to start charging port fees today on ocean shipping firms. And that sent the market down, 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 open significantly lower. And then Greer from the administration said that we met with some people from China and it looks like we can work through the issues as the market's going up, 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 up. And then there's news that added to that shipping port fees that China was sanctioning 5 U.S. units of a Korean shipbuilder. And there's maybe a little bit of a pullback then. But then it was up. And in the last 10 minutes of the day, there was a headline that supposedly summed it all up that said, well, the S&P 500 is down because Trump criticized China for not buying soybeans. Okay. And that did send the market back down, but it just seems like any one little tiny bit of news, it's like Blue Horseshoe loves or sometimes hates, whatever it is. So I don't know. To me, it looks like a lot of retail traders just following random headlines without really diving into value or even technical analysis. For tangible things that we real traders, right, that you can count on is earnings. And we got our first kind of glimpse here at earnings because a lot of the banks had earnings. And so Citigroup here, they closed up about 4% today. And in fact, all the major companies, the 4 banks, Citigroup, JPM, Goldman Sachs, and Wells Fargo, they all beat estimates. Johnson & Johnson beat estimates. But not all of them were up. JPM, down a bit today, down almost 2%. Goldmine, down a little bit on the day, even though they beat up estimates, they're down 2%. Wells Fargo, they beat estimates. Those guys, they were up 7% on the day. And J&J, even though they did beat estimates, they were flat. Looks like the market didn't really know what to do with them. But all this beating estimates, well, a couple things. First of all, most companies actually do beat estimates. Seems to be this little game that analysts play, I guess, where they underestimate and the company still beats. And I don't know. But either that or all analysts are just terrible at their jobs, which I kind of doubt is true. So that is what we have today. Our first glimpse of earnings and an interesting glimpse. Now, another thing here, too, speaking of headlines, is when you just look at the headline, on Thinkorswim platform here, you can just kind of hover over this and it says earnings were this estimate, but this actual. You have to look at GAAP versus non-GAAP. And what really matters more than earnings is what is said during the conference calls. So you really can't pick direction when it comes to earnings trading, which of course is why the market taker earnings trading methodology is direction indifferent. We have a volatility trading system for earnings, which I know many of you are part of and you trade that. For those of you who don't, we do have a online training coming up that kind of goes broadly over what that's all about and even gives you a little special deal at the end if you want to join in and trade live with me next week. So Just go to markettaker.com/REG, short for register, markettaker.com/REG, and get yourself signed up and find out what it's all about. I hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli. Trade smart.